Hi. I have absolutely no idea what time it is. I think it's not yet 10, but I know it's somewhere after 9:30, so I'm not sure, but boy, it's chilly here. I am cold. I just cannot stand this frigid weather. It's awful. It really is. It's not fun. It's just not. Tomorrow is garbage pickup for things like boxes and, the recycle stuff. So I was breaking down some boxes that have been sitting here for months and months. So I taped them together because I couldn't get the bin from downstairs and I'd never be able to carry it downstairs. So I taped them together and got them out of the house. It felt so good just to get it out of the way. Oh, I just can't stand the cold. Even being out for a little bit is too much. I have to go put gas in the car too. I noticed yesterday that I was driving on little dribs and drabs. So it's definitely time. Oh, anything special going on for any of you? I don't even know who's here tonight yet. There are only 4 people, so not a lot of people in the house yet. Oh, hi, Alita. Nice to see. I can't stand the cold. I really can't stand it. It seems to get worse every year. Although I did notice last Christmas when my daughter-in-law came in from Arizona that she just couldn't take the cold, and it wasn't even that cold yet. But I guess her body's gotten so used to the warmer temperature that it kind of a shock to the system. Yeah, I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. And of course, whenever I talk to David, he tells me how beautiful it is out there most of the time. So it is what it is. You're in West Virginia? Yeah, I mean, this apparently it's going to be really cold here for the next several days. And I know we're expecting some snow, some rain. So it's going to be less than terrific. But it's been that way for the last number of years. March is just not a good month here. And we've been very lucky this winter, thank God, because I wouldn't have wanted to have to deal with snow in addition to everything else while I'm healing. So I'm grateful that there wasn't a whole lot of it. And I hope that whatever does come, I think they said, hi, Linda. I think they said somewhere between 1 and 3 inches, but then it was going to rain again. But then it's going to stay cold for a few days. I just would like it to warm up. I mean, even if it's in the 40s, I don't mind it. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. So, oh, hi, Jean. Do you prefer, is it Jean or Jeannie? You're in Michigan from getting groceries? Oh, I lost what you were saying. Oh, it has moved in. Yes, I am so ready for spring. I really am so ready for spring. I cannot tolerate this weather at all. I just going downstairs to put out the broken down boxes. I couldn't wait to get back in the house. And of course, nothing I do these days is quick. So it takes me a while to get anything accomplished, but I'm grateful for the ability to get anything accomplished. So thank God for that. And I pray, I feel as if I'm still in a lot of pain from the fall, but I feel as if it's a little bit different the last couple of days. And I feel as if it's getting better in some ways. So I pray that that's true. That will be a gift. Yeah, rain, cold, the high winds. I actually have to take pictures and I've got to call my insurance company about my gate. I told you yesterday my gate was completely destroyed. The wind was so crazy and I guess it just ripped the door off the hinges. You have two small dogs? Yeah, it is hard. It really is hard. Oh, yeah, when the day that I fell, I was so devastated because I was feeling finally as if I had been able to, I know this sounds so silly, but I had been able to change my linens myself just a few days before I fell. And tucking in the fitted sheet and tucking in the sheets on the heavy, thick mattress is not that easy when you have these issues. So it was feeling so good. And then when that happened, it was like, oh my God. But I'm grateful that it's definitely feeling as if maybe it's headed in the right direction. So now I hope everything else does along with it. Try to get a lot of stuff done today within the framework of what I can do in the house because I have a lot that has to get done. I don't have any help with it, and it has to be done. And I wasn't able to do it for a while, so yeah, I know it does. I know, and I don't want to say fearful, although I guess it is fearful in a way because I'm so aware of going down the stairs. Then the yard gets muddy, right? Yeah. Yeah, the sheets are tough. Mine is only a queen size bed, but it's still tough. I mean, I found it a little bit difficult even when I was normal. By the time I got finished making the bed, I would need a nap. But I was so happy to be able to do it. Now I want to get the sheets off and wash them again and be able to, um, get that part of the stuff done. I need to get another load of laundry done too. Um, Finding that silly little simple solution to my laundry has made such a difference to me to be able to use those very lightweight bags that they bring me the food in from the Meals on Wheels. And I got totally different food this time. I registered all of it on one of my phones, and I will be doing another video to show that again, just to give people an idea of what some of the things are, at least here. And I know it's different everywhere depending upon where in the world you are. But still, I thought I really haven't seen a lot about it, so I think it might be helpful to somebody. So I'm happy about that. I still have a few more videos that I have to load. Yeah, yeah, those are really tough. I know. But I also have got to do something about the whites with my laundry. I know Renee had told me about this non-chlorine bleach that she uses that she said works really well. So I need to definitely find something because I'm not at all happy with the way that stuff looks. So I don't know. Is there anything special going on with any of you? Been kind of a quiet day here aside from my having to get all that work done. There's nothing very exciting about that. It was going through a lot of papers and boxes and things that have been sitting there for months that needed to get done. But as I say, there's nothing exciting about it. It was interesting. In the past, typically the way I clean is I put on Dean Martin music in the background. For some reason, his very laid back style is good for me when I clean. And the first thing that started playing, I almost had a visceral reaction to it. I felt as if I needed to turn it off because I associated it immediately with the radiation treatments. And that was funny because I would say the first half of the treatments, I used to listen to Dean Martin. Hi, Casey. And I used to, I just couldn't stand, oh, hi, Patty. Oh, look at that, you changed it. I see that. That's good. It does make it easier. Yeah, Clorox. I have a problem with anything that smells of bleach or is anything like that. With my allergies, it really acts up. I forgot the name of this stuff that Renee had mentioned, but she said it was excellent. So I definitely want to try something. I used to use the OxyClean, and I still have a whole box of it, but I had said because you need to mix it with water first. It becomes more complex now that I have the machine that you have to fill with the clothes first, and then it weighs the load and determines how much water to dispense. And it's never enough water to completely cover the clothes, which I find astounding. I was so used to the old way for so many years. I had my first washing machine. I think I had it for about 28 years, maybe 29. So, um, getting the second one, whatever, you have the kind that does that. Yeah, and when I bought this, because I didn't know what to get, I'm the kind of person who really, I, I like the old. Don't give me new and make me change things and get used to something new. But the one that I think I got the biggest model they made at the time, which now that I think about it was really not too smart, except I do have a way of filling it up. And I had to get used to the machines that had no agitator because, of course, my old Maytag had an agitator. And I didn't want a front loading machine because I had several friends who had problems with their front loading machines. They had water that never completely drained out, and they had odors that they complained about. And I thought, let me just get a regular top loader. But it's very deep. It really is. If I were any shorter, I could fall into it when I'm trying to take the clothes out of the bottom. But thank goodness for that, that, what do you call it? Oh dear, the grabber. Uh, you really, truly, the grabber is such a wonderful thing. It really is. I think everybody, especially as we get older, or if God forbid you have any issues. Yeah. Yeah, I have to tell you that, Denise, that's what Linda does. She'll buy the cheapest thing she can find, and just that'll be it. And as she said, when it breaks, it breaks. But I was so used to having everything forever because they used to make things to last. Yeah, it's, I mean, as I say, if I could have gotten away with keeping my old one, but it had flooded the floor because there was something that was broken in back of the machine. Yeah, the top loading one. Oh, the grabby thing. The grabber is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I had gotten when I left, I don't remember if I got, what do they make in the USA? Are they making the machines or the grabber things? I'm not sure. Oh, the washing machines? Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. I have no idea where mine was made. It was a choice between Samsung and LG, and I wound up getting the LG because at the time I read the reviews on the repair rate, and the repair rate was better on the LG. And of course, everybody warns me that they're no longer made to last 25 or 30 years. They're, they're made to break down so that you have to replace them, which I think it stinks. I really do. Especially because they're expensive. They are. I mean, when I got mine, and I got it, it's got to be 3 years ago. It plays music. I mean, mine plays a little music when it's finished, but it plays it low. I think there's a way of making it. They need to be on a stand. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even bending down though to get to my dryer, and the dryer is big, but the door, I guess, is bigger so that everything is lower inside, and I find it harder to put things in than my old machine. I would have happily kept the old one if I thought that it would have lasted for any time, but it wasn't looking that way. And again, I mean, it gave me good service. I really have nothing to complain about. So I was lucky that I had that for all those years. Um, you know, it's funny. I find myself again. I'm watching a lot of crime shows lately, and I hate when I do that. I really do. But when it's on in the background and I get some stuff done, it's something that kind of holds my interest. But it's really scary because, you don't realize people can be totally nuts. It thumps. Uh, I have my washing machine does everything. It really does. It's like it does everything. The problem is I can only use it on one setting, which I think is hilarious because the machine, I don't know if it was never installed properly or it wasn't leveled properly or something, but it started walking. And when it's on a fast spin on any other kind of setting except what's the one that I use? Permanent press. If it's on any other setting, it spins too fast and the machine walks. And the problem is I have it upstairs and it's behind both bifold doors. It's already at the limit where if it moves another quarter of an inch or half an inch, I won't be able to close the doors. And I cannot push it. I couldn't do it when I was able-bodied. I certainly couldn't do it now. So I can only use it on the one setting. And I had to buy, those noodles that they use in pools, those foam round things, the cylindrical. I got that and I wedge it in between the washer dryer when it goes through the spin cycle, and I wedge a towel in between the front of the washing machine and the door so that the machine can't walk because I'm so afraid that I won't be able to close the door and I won't be able to use the machine at all. So I thought it was really fun. It does so much and all I can do is the very basic with it. So interesting. It is what it is. I had what? A train hit a truck locally at a crossing? Wow. Here. That's just one town, well, two towns over. That's unusual. Right. Yeah. So I don't really have anything all that exciting to talk to you about today. Hello. Is there anything any of you particularly would like to talk about tonight? Kind of quiet? Oh, I'm glad you got on also, Renee. What was that stuff called that you were talking about again, that non-chlorine bleach? Because we were talking about the machines before. Long Island Railway on School Street? Is that where the, oh, okay. Is that where the train hit the truck? I don't have my other phone with me, so I can't check anything. I put it down someplace earlier and I have not a clue where I put it. I pray I didn't accidentally throw it in the garbage bag when I was throwing stuff out. Um, yeah, I just haven't, hi Kathy, I haven't felt up to really getting into things and the nitty gritty and getting all that stuff done. So I'm happy to have at least started it today. So I want to get a lot of stuff done. You're going to check Amazon? Oh, you don't have to check anything. I just wanted to know the name of it because we were talking about the car tried to beat the train. I mean, how stupid. I cannot believe it. That, that, you sort of don't want, yeah, the train won, exactly. How could it not? I mean, it's just really scary. Did they talk about how bad it was? I mean, did somebody get did somebody get um, killed? It is horrible. It really is horrible. I mean, I've seen once or twice where a car got stuck on the track when it was trying to get over. I know, it makes no sense. How can people be so foolish? I don't know. I guess it's their perception that they have more time, but I wouldn't try to outrun a train. Oh, there goes my neck again. Ouch. Yeah, I would jump out and run too, except I can't run now. I remember thinking when I was in Glen Cove, they had a thing where the fire alarm went off one day. Oh, 3 passengers in the car. Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy, again. Oh, but it's how hard. I cannot imagine the feeling as you see a train bearing down on you, knowing you're about to get hit. I cannot fathom it. I just cannot. It is absolutely beyond me. I know that was one of my thoughts too. Could it have been teenagers thinking that they? Oh, I. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I don't know why you stopped getting them a while ago. And you said you were sure you're still subscribed. Your picture's hanging in the makeup. Chloralen. Yeah, the accident is horrible. Yeah, she's on the nasty list. Exactly. Yeah. Your picture is hanging in the makeup. Oh, did you mean the makeup aisle in Walmart? That's funny. Do you, Sandy? You open up the makeup to test. I have to tell you, I went one day, oh, I guess not this past Christmas, but the year before. I went to Nordstrom's rack and I had some of those Nordstrom's dollars and I wanted to get some makeup. So I was looking at the different kits and a lot of them have been opened and you could see the fingerprints or marks in them, and a number of the lipsticks had been opened. And there was, really? Oh, that's really funny. Um, when I went them there, when I went to Nordstrom's, there was a woman sitting on the floor with a whole tray of lipsticks I like the perfume testers too. That's funny. Um, she was sitting on the floor going through all the lipsticks and trying the lipsticks out. I wanted to smack her. I really did. I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, how could anybody not know Sheila? Exactly. I guess Sheila's not with us tonight. Maybe she's actually enjoying time with the warden. She was opening all the tubes of lipstick and she was testing them out. And I wanted to smack her. I really did. That is so funny. That is really so funny. Yeah, well, I mean, I stay out of the stores anyway now, but I really have to stay out of Target. Is that a true story? Oh, that's so funny. Hi, Ange. Um, oh, my right hand is itchy. I forgot. Is that a fight or money? Could somebody please tell me it's money, even if it's not? Oh, that reminds me again about Carol. I couldn't find. Ugh. Yeah, no, it really is horrible. I think it, it it just destroys it for everybody. They ought to have those shrink wrap things around all that stuff so you can't do it. um, I really would enjoy, I'm sure, at Target spending time in the profusion aisle. But Lord knows I don't need anything anyway. So um, if it's makeup, I essentially have enough, except for the things that I'm running out of. But now that I'm testing that other skincare, I don't even have to worry as much. Um, there's no great immediacy for me to get the Peter Thomas Roth water drench because I'm running low on that. Kept her credit card. Yeah. I can't believe the woman who did it, though, at Nordstrom's Rack. I mean, it was so blatant. She just sat down on the floor, took the whole tray in her lap, and one by one opened the lipsticks and tried them, and then put them back. But then again, I have seen worse. I really have seen worse. Earrings. Yeah, it was. I don't. I don't. I remember, obviously, Tinkerbell, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know that I would have been or would not have been into makeup, but it was just something that was never done in my house. I never saw it, so I probably would not have been doing that. That's funny. The little Avon, yes, the little Avon samples, absolutely. Yeah, those tiny little lipsticks. Yeah, I'm telling you, I still have a thing. I know. Sit down on the floor. And of course, it was right near Christmas time. So there she was in her heavy coat, boots, put her handbag down, and she just made herself right at home. And people couldn't even access that whole side of the counter. They had to walk around her. Yeah, the Avon stuff. No, I haven't used anything from there. Um, Lately, I really haven't. Actually, for a long time. Yes, I agree with you. Absolutely. I know. Oh, yeah, really. Yeah, and oblivious to anybody else. Like, oh, what can I tell you? It is what it is. They're very, very strange people all around. But I remember once I bought a few pair of slacks at Marshall's, and I came home and I went to try them on again, and I took a look, and there was a big stain on the inside of the crotch. It was disgusting. Oh, I know you do. Those clamshell cases are horrible. So, needless to tell you, oh, did you? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. So I brought it back the next day and oh, yes, and I never bought slacks in that particular store again. I wouldn't even try them on because it's not, you wouldn't assume that that would happen. So it never occurred to me to open the pants and look inside. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, yeah. That was years ago. Never again did I try try on pants from there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just never sure what you're getting when you, because people try things on and God knows. Oh, get out of town. Really? You know something? I have been hearing that lately. I don't know. I don't know, Renee. Yeah, wow. That's a very scary thought actually though. If women are not wearing underwear and then they're going in and trying things on. Oh yes. Yeah, the pins can be frightening. No. When did you send it? Things from our childhood? No. If you sent it any time recently, I um I was getting I was getting this phone set up and I don't know where I put the other phone. I set it down somewhere at some point today and I don't remember where or when. So I can't find it. It's just been one of those days when I was trying to get stuff done. Dippity do, sure. Absolutely. I lost my drug phone. Yeah, I actually really need to find that phone. I'm at a loss when I don't have it because when I'm on here, I can use that to look things up. Yes. Yeah. Well, you lived a loftier lifestyle than I did, Renee. Yeah, there was no junior league in my background. No cotillions, none of that. It's funny though, I remember when I was about 15, I went down to Miami with my father and my aunt, and we had met, well, I met a lot of nice people down there, and I met this girl from Kentucky, actually. She was from Louisville, and they were a very prominent family in Louisville. Yeah, it's hard when you do that. And I mean, when she used to show pictures of the house that they lived in, and her grandmother bought her a gown for, I don't remember if it was her coming out party or what it was, but I remember it was very expensive at the time. And I was like, oh my God, I had never known anybody who spent that kind of money on a dress. So it was interesting. She was a really nice girl. I can't check my email because the phone that I'm filming on is the only phone I have here. Oh, hi, BBA. Oh, I will check it tonight. Yeah, I definitely will. Um, did you get that video done today that you wanted to get done? Lanolin used to be an all lotion and right. Oh, yeah, so maybe save up for it, or maybe your parents will get it for you at some point. Yeah. Oh, hi, Sonny. Yes, I think you should save up. It'll make you feel good when you get it and you've saved up for it. The problem is, it's very, yeah, the problem, Madeline, oh, Bungalow Bar, absolutely. Good Humor ice cream, um, and those cupcakes, Dugan's. Remember Dugan's cupcakes and cake? I remember the Dugan's truck coming to Rockaway when I was a little girl, and they would deliver the stuff. The back of the truck would open, and the smell of the freshly baked stuff. Hi. The smell of the freshly baked stuff was so incredible. I know what Potsy is. I used to love to play Potsy. Good, thank you. How are you? Um, yeah, that was a fun game. I liked it. You can't see any comments? Did you hit the thing, what is it, live chat? Hi, Mary. I'm glad you did too. Potsy, yeah, Potsy was a game. There was another name for Potsy. What was it, Sandy? It was called something else also. Um, what the heck? Uh, you hit live chat? Yeah, that happened to me one night where I couldn't see any of the things. Hostess Susie Q's. Yeah. The thing that I remember the most about the Dugan's cupcakes were the very thick chocolate frosting. The new community. Yes, absolutely. I did. Yeah. Yeah, it has happened. I don't know why. Goodness, there's a pregnant pause. No, you're not blocked. You're definitely not blocked. As I say, it's happened to me and it's really frustrating. Try to hit that button a few times and see. Sandy, what was the other name for Potsy? Yeah, I don't know why it happens. I also heard today or yesterday, apparently some content providers were saying that their all of their comments were being shut off on their videos, so they couldn't see any comments. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad. It's really frustrating when you can't see what's going on. Hopscotch. Thank you. Yeah. What was that other game that we used to play with a knife? Where you would make, I like this pie-shaped thing in the dirt, and then you'd have a pocket knife that you would, I don't remember exactly how it worked. Does anybody remember that one, or did I live in a very strange place? I really, yeah, we used to have fun doing such simple things. We really did. We would make up games. Red Rover. Do they play hopscotch? Yeah. It's amazing the way we entertained ourselves. Now it's all tech. It's all, when I see the little kids with their iPhones and their iPads, it's amazing to me. Oh, I'm cold again. Skip rope. I used to love to skip rope too. I used to be pretty good at it. Can you picture me doing it now? You have a huge patio. Oh, that's nice. That really is nice. Yeah. I remember the chalk on the sidewalk. I couldn't even bend over now to pick up the thing. Oh, does anybody remember pickup sticks? I know. I used to love the game pickup sticks when I was a kid. You have some? Yeah, I used to be pretty good at it. When my grandkids used to live here, or even when they came in to visit when they were a little bit younger, we used to play Rummy Cube all the time. They started selling those again. Land, is that what it was called with the pocket knife? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Elastic bands and jump over them? No. No, I never did that. I do remember jump rope with the two ropes. Roller skated, yes, yes. I had that. Really? Why? Why would she have a fit? I think it's so fun to see that old stuff. I used to also love to do jigsaw puzzles, but I love to do jigsaw puzzles that were tough, like the ones that had loads of trees, a thin keychain to play Potsy. Really? Yeah. Well, I can see that, that he would still have appeal, his kind of comedy. He was so good at it. It's kind of hard to remember him. I used to love puzzles. I really did. Oh, with those blades. Oh, jacks, that's right. Oh, that's right. Punch ball. I forgot about that too. Yeah. He had jigsaws to sell on eBay. Yeah, they can be addictive. They actually have jigsaw puzzles now online. Did you ever play one online? They're a little bit stupid online, but I have done it. When I was in the hospital and I had nothing to do, I was doing it on the iPad that Marnie had loaned me. So yeah, it just gave me something to keep my mind busy so that I didn't go crazy. Dodgeball, yeah, it was just so different. It was really so different. I remember those skates with the keys, and you would tighten it around your shoes, and you'd go skating down the street. Does anybody remember plastic bubbles? Marbles. And with marbles, I forgot what they called. Oh, I'm sure that Sandy will remember. Yo-yos, that's right. Um, with the marbles, they called the all one color things, they called them something. She had the biggest jigsaws. Oh, paper dolls. I'd forgotten about those too. Now they all play soccer. Kick the can. Oh, oh, I remember that, Sandy. I remember that. I used to love to do that. I really did. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was a simpler time. And there were so many things you could do. I remember when I was a little kid, Steelies, the big ones, felt dolls on a board, riding bikes, absolutely. It was a more innocent time. It was. Does anybody remember plastic bubbles? I seem to remember that, Patty. I remember plastic. No, I remember plastic bubbles. It came in a tube, and you had this little thing that was like a straw, a plastic straw, and you would take a round wad of this stuff that you squeezed out of the tube. I can still remember uh, the straw things, right? And you would blow into it, and it would blow up into like a balloon thing, and you would seal it off. Yes, I remember that too, Sandy, when the skate would fall off. I used to love skating in a skating rink also. I know it was in Westbury. It's so close to home here. It had a very strange smell. It did. And I can still remember the smell. It was like when you'd get it near your face that, yeah, funny. Wow. You stopped yourself by landing on a car. Oof. Very chemically, it did. It did. But at the time, it was just, it was what it was. Yeah. It probably was poisonous. Exactly. I also remember as a kid, and a lot of you may not remember this, but I also remember going into the shoe store and they would have you stand on this thing and they'd look through it and they got an x-ray of your feet to see how much space you had in the shoes. And then when they realized that that was not healthy, they stopped it, but they had it when I was a kid. We all survived, you're right. Yeah. It's amazing that we did, but we all survived. Yeah. I mean, God, when I was a little kid, they didn't even have television. If somebody had a television, they were rich. Yeah, things were just so different. Oh, not again. Silly putty. Yeah. Yeah, I remember David used to play with silly putty. Exactly. Yep. It really, when you think about it. And it was, and we had fun. And then when your mother called you home, or when it was time to go home, it was like you just didn't. I know, I'm on alert. I, you'd hate to go home because you couldn't play with your friends anymore until next time. So it was, yeah, it was just different. But we lived in a small apartment. The funny thing is, I remember somebody in the building telling me, she said, "Oh, but you're rich." I said, we are. We were not. It was just a perception. Yeah, exactly. But you weren't afraid to be out then. You weren't afraid to go home. Yes. And I remember standing on a corner somewhere with a whole group of friends in the summer evenings and just talking and laughing and whatever. It was just a lot of fun. I missed one of the comments here. Color tab. Oh, those little things that were pink and white and purple or blue or something. And you ate half the paper. Exactly. Exactly. They also had, if you recall, those candies that almost looked like peanuts, but they were sort of a little bit shrimpy colored, like a shrimpy orangey color. And it was a cross between soft and hard and chewy. They were really good. Oh, do you also remember the little bottles that they used to have syrup in? That was candy? Really? Oh, that has to be fun. You had plastic bubbles? Cracker Barrel. Some of that stuff was so much fun. Do you remember those little bottles? The bottles were wax, and then it had the liquid in it, and you were supposed to have the liquid. And we used to chew on the wax from the little bottles. That's funny. Wow. But my favorite memory from those days was the Mellow Rolls. I don't know if any of you remember Mellow Rolls, because that was when I was quite young. But there was nothing as good as a chocolate Mellow Roll. The ice cream in that was somehow so creamy, delicious chocolate. Yes, yes. And suck the juice, right? I'm sure that they were poisonous. Penny candy, absolutely. And you would pick the wax red lips. I remember that too. Yep. Oh, there were so many good things back then. And for me, my favorite thing as a kid, when my mother wanted me to gain weight because I was so thin, she would get me a chocolate malted and one of those thick salt pretzels, and you would dip the pretzel in the malted and it would stand up straight, and then you would lick the malt off it. Yeah, coconut watermelon slices. And the candy, I remember the candy cigarettes. Yep. I also remember chocolate cigarettes. Do you remember that? Where you'd take the wrapper off and you'd eat the chocolate cigarettes. The hot dog, I don't know that. I love anything coconut now, but I didn't when I was young. My brother did. My brother loved coconut anything. Yeah, they tasted so good, those candy cigarettes. They were really, they were really good. Oh, what a great walk down memory lane. Wow. I also remember back in the day when tuna fish sandwiches that you ate out at the local little corner restaurant. Yes. Yeah, and the tuna sandwiches tasted like actual tuna. Eat a pack a day. Yeah, and the 5 and 10, absolutely. But my one overriding memory of the 5 and 10 was the that perfume that I got my mother, that blue waltz perfume. Oh, does that sound good? Oh, thanks, Mary. Um, yeah, wow. Yeah, and I think I told you when I refused to eat, I didn't eat lunch for a long time in school because my mother used to pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on white bread that by the time lunchtime came around, it was a soggy mess and it was disgusting, so I wouldn't eat. So she started coming to school at lunchtime and meeting me and going to the luncheonette on the corner and having a tuna sandwich on toast with a pickle, an order of French fries drowning in ketchup, and a chocolate malted. I swear, one of these days I have got to get the Blue Waltz perfume again because I heard they still make it. So just for old time's sake. Oh, I remember the Neckos. Oh, good. Good, great. I'd love to see it. Wow. I started to say when I was a little girl and I would get sick. I used to get sore throats a lot when I was a kid. I, my mother would go down to, we lived in an apartment building, and in the building around the corner was a luncheonette. And she used to go and get me Archie comic books to read when I was sick. And then she would write a whole page of columns of numbers for me to add up. You know what you're making for dinner tomorrow night? Does it have anything to do with candy? Oh, or is it going to be the flying saucers with sherbet in it? Yeah, there's no Culvers here. I recall. I seem to remember there were green ones and what? I think they had white ones and maybe pink, purple, lavenderish. Anything candy related, I can probably talk about. Hamburger on a Kaiser roll with mustard. Wow. Oh, tuna on toast. Oh, yum. It was just so good. And that slice of pickle with it just made it perfect. Oh, and the fries. I could barely taste the fries for the ketchup. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh, yeah. Wherever I get tuna now, and I get it, I used to have tuna probably twice a week. Yeah. Oh, the good old days. The good old days. Oh, does it really? Oh, that's nice. I haven't had homemade French fries in a long time. I used to have one of those crinkle cutters, and I would cut the potatoes that way and then fry them, and they were so good. A burger. Oh, Patty. I need to go to Bobby's one of these days. I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to take myself to Bobby's and get a Bobby's burger. I just love it. They're the best. Your disaster food cache. Your kitchen smells like what? It smells like a bowling alley. Absolutely, Gina. You know, we always do that. You have a Bobby's there now. Is it good? Because it's so good here. Oh, clean peaches. I remember that. Soda straws, like dirty feet. Lulu. Oh, yes. Lulu, too, right? Yes, when they had the classics. That's right. Yep. I collected those for a very long time. And of course, after I got married, my mother threw them out. They were worth so much money after that. Those old comic books, they were worth a fortune. People used to collect them like crazy. I was always on the wrong side of that stuff. Full of, oh, that's great with the full of sweets. Little Lulu. Yep. Straws with chocolate inside. I think I do. There were also, but that wasn't back then. I think that was long after they had the spoons with chocolate on them too. But I think I do remember straws with chocolate in it. Um, wow. Uh, 34th Street. I remember the first time I went to Nathan's in Coney Island. The place even smelled incredible. Oh, yes, absolutely. Send me a picture. That would be great. I used to love those comic books. No matter how bad I felt, they always made me feel better. That I don't remember, Gina. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, it wasn't until I was an adult that I tasted strawberry milk. Yeah, and then I remember there was a period of time when I used to do, and I forgot which drive-through it was, whether it was Wendy's or whether it was, I sure do remember those TV dinners, the TV snack tables. Um, it was powder, and it went, yes. But I remember I used to get strawberry shakes, Swanson's, exactly. I can picture the package. You have some of the TV. I have one tray that I had gotten. It's similar. It's got, I don't know if it's a wood top or what. Um, but yeah, those TV dinners, I remember. Oh, hi, Kathy. And oh, isn't that wonderful? Oh, that's such wonderful news. I'm so happy for him and for all of you. That's great. Yes, I remember the TV dinners. I remember the turkey dinner with some stuffing, mashed potatoes, and I think it had peas. That is such wonderful news. Wasn't that good? Oh my God. I remember, it's funny because I think I may have told you this story. Because my father had a heart condition and my mother was always corn on the cob, right? My father, because he had a heart condition, my mother was always worried about how to feed him. So she wanted to make sure he had low fat intake. So she used to feed him steak all the time, but it was minute steak. And she would, that with a vegetable, and I think it was often spinach, and then a sliced tomato. And that was his dinner. And I remember she would serve it to him. He would sit in his comfortable chair. Oh, that's good. I love peas with the little onions. Um, he would sit in his chair watching television after a long day of work and eating his steak. Oh, yeah, a good outcome from those tests is always a gift. I thought I was going for my next, yes, little Lulu and Sluggo. Nobody heard from Carol. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I didn't hear from Carol because my mother thought minute steak because it didn't have any fat and it had this vein in the middle. Um, she thought that that was healthy, so she made it for him. And I remember she got an electric frying pan that had a tilt leg. So yeah, we're talking about food again. Absolutely, and tough. Yeah, yeah. So she had this thing, and after she cooked the steak, she would tip it over because it had this leg that tipped. She made it very often for him. The poor man, she probably helped him to leave this planet. But I mean, his whole family had, the men in his family had issues with heart disease. Well, I mean, my father died, he was not quite 60, so, but he had had three heart attacks. So I think his first one was at 39. So that, he lived with it and she lived with it for him. She was always trying so hard to take care of him and make sure he had no aggravation and make sure that everything was okay for him. But yeah, it was horrible. It really was horrible. Yes, absolutely. The Nancy Drew mysteries and the Hardy Boys. Well, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, it was not that thin, the minute steak. It was, sorry, I don't play that game. Um, I the steak was probably about this thick, and the Bobbsey twins, right? Wow. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I used to read plays. No. The answer is no. Pippi Longstocking, yes. Oh my. Okay, here we go. exactly. We know more. Yep. Um, yeah, she didn't know then. And when she was diagnosed with, yes, Pollyanna, when she was diagnosed with diabetes, she didn't know what to eat. And she was always so confused about what she could eat and what she couldn't eat. She used to eat a lot of cottage cheese. She felt safe eating cottage cheese. They must find it accidentally, it's public. So if it happens to come through somebody's suggested videos, that's what happens. It just shows up, so they click on it, and it is what it is. But I did some housekeeping, so we should be okay until the next. Some days are just worse than others. Some days it's not too bad, and we don't have much of it. And the funny thing is, I was trying to figure out a title that was benign enough not to do it on Halloween. Oh, did you? Oh, that's cute. That must have been really adorable. Was it the other night? Yeah. Yeah. My father, I remember it really well because my father, he died in 1963, and he went to the hospital. He had a heart the same day that President Kennedy was killed. And then my mother was wonderful. She was wonderful. Um, but he died Christmas Eve. So it was really, really a tough, tough time. Yeah. And it was really shocking because he was such a strong person, both mentally and physically, that it was hard to imagine that he just wouldn't be there one day. And it was difficult. My parents were not very young when I was born. They were a little older. Well, my father was trying to get my mother to marry him for 12 years, so it took him a while. It is. It really is. And I have to tell you, yeah, and that makes it tough. I couldn't stand Christmas for 9 years after my father died. Every time I would hear Christmas music, I couldn't stand it. My mother was a strong woman. She really was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mother was the strength of the whole family. She just was. She was the backbone, and she was the one who brought everybody together. Yeah, it was hard. I keep a picture of her, not as I knew her, but a younger picture of her in a frame on my desk in this room. And I look at it all the time, and it's the way I like to think of her when life was all ahead of her, and when anything could have happened, when it could have been magical. Yeah, definitely tough. I mean, I think she was 57 when he died, and it was tough. My older brother had just moved out, but I and my younger brother were in the house. Yeah, yeah. I remember my father sitting there watching his westerns. He loved westerns, westerns and boxing. Those were the two things that he loved to watch. And I could always see his smile. He had this great smile. Do you? No, no, they don't. They don't do any of that stuff. But I mean, I keep them, yeah, I keep them so close to my heart always. Okay, you pick the next topic, Kathy. We can go anywhere. We're very versatile. They were married 12 years before you were born. Yeah, yeah, and that was the case. I mean, my mother was in her mid 30s by the time she had her children. Keep it to candy, right? Yeah. I mean, there's loads of other candy we can talk about. And then there's always cake, cookies. Makes me want to kind of cook or bake. That's all I would need, though. As you sit there eating popcorn. It's funny, when I was cleaning up today and getting rid of stuff, I found a couple of the cylinders of the cookies, the Jackie's Cookie Babies. You kept channeling your mom. Yeah. Yes. Ugh. I can't even imagine it. There's always one who takes care of everybody. Yep. Um, no. Oh, speaking of rock, does anybody remember rock candy? Home canned chicken veg soup. That sounds good. Hard rock candy, right. I remember, I think the first time, all sugar, I think the first time I had it, my grandfather gave it to me. Really? Wow. I haven't seen it in years and years. Jolly Rancher hard candy. Oh, I love what are those called? The tart candies that look like, uh, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I forgot what those are called. Oh, isn't that funny? So a number of us have that in common, that our parents were older. Jolly Ranchers. What was the other one called? Did it begin with an S? They looked like M&Ms, but they were tart candies. Cinnamon, sweet tarts? No. What the heck? No, I can't think of it. When I was going into the office every day, we had a guy who delivered Skittles. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. And I love those. I absolutely love those. I haven't had them for a while. Exactly. Mary Jane's, I do. I'm trying. Did they have peanut butter? Oh, you're talking about Mary Jane's candy? Or not Mary Jane's shoes? Lifesavers. A1C, that's good. It's at 6.2. You broke a tooth on Skittles? Peanut butter. That's what I thought. It had peanut butter in it. Yeah, anything with peanut butter is good. Oh, the other day when I was feeling a little down, bit of honey. Yeah, I think we all have adapted certain things of our parents, and they have become part of who we are, and yet it's as if we're all melded together. That I never had, Gina. Um, I bought, when I was walking through CVS, they had a sale on, what the heck? A Babe Ruth. Um, the Reese's peanut butter cups. They had it for half price. So I put it in my cart, and as I was walking along, I came upon the Lindt chocolate with hazelnuts, and I bought those. So I was about to put the other back before I checked out. Rock candy and taffy. Oh, taffy, I remember that. And Butterfingers, right. Um, I was going to put them back, and I said to the guy at the cash register, I said, how much were those candies? And he said 265. I said, "I'll keep it." So I have a whole thing of those too. And I was being pretty good for a while, just eating those Atkins bars, which, by the way, I still love. I really do, but they're pricey. Cinnamon teddy bears. Oh, root beer barrels, I remember. Trying to remember some of the others. Well, this, of course, is not candy. This is in the category of cake. Does everybody remember Charlotte Russes, where you would push it up in that cylinder and eat all that whipped cream and then that little bit of cake on the bottom? That's me to this day. Give me whipped cream with a little bit of something on the bottom. Of course, anything that's really good now is supposed to be off limits. Yeah, I know. I believe it. The real thing, exactly. The real thing with whipped cream. It was so good. It really was so good. My mother-in-law used to make fresh whipped cream all the time. I did have some rice pudding tonight with a nice little dollop of whipped cream on top of it. I didn't have any strawberries left. I get so frustrated buying strawberries. They just don't last. They go bad so fast. I really do have to start to freeze them. It's crazy to just throw them away week after week. Yeah, I think that's so good. Yeah, it drives me crazy, and I really enjoy strawberries. I love it in my breakfast cereal because I have cereal every day for breakfast, typically. And I really like it, just like a little garnish or a little bit in mixed fruit. Yes, absolutely, you could eat it with a spoon. Freeze them and put them in the smoothies. I definitely should do that. I got so excited when I noticed that they had a thing that came across my phone, I think it was yesterday, about the Tropical Smoothie Cafe running a special on a sandwich and a smoothie. But then I noticed it was one specific smoothie, and I love the avocado. That's my favorite smoothie. Cut strawberries up, sprinkle sugar, and put in the fridge. Yeah, I know. It's so hard. I know. Ice cream that has bubblegum ball in the bottom. I know the like the Tootsie Roll Pops that have the bubblegum in the middle. The new Special K probiotic. Really? Oh, I'll have to try that one. Oh, I really have to try that one because I used to have the regular Special K and I had tried the one with the berries, but it's dark, the cereal, and I didn't like it as much. It was more of a wheat, dark wheat cereal. Does stevia work on strawberries? I wonder. But then again, why would it not? I love bananas. Oh, that's funny. Yes, I used to love the ice cream truck when it went by, and I had two flavors that I absolutely loved, and I still love to this day. When the Good Humor truck went by, I would get pistachio pops, so you'd have that dark chocolate on top, and then the pistachio pop, and the other one that I loved was black raspberry pop. Oh, wonder if it would preserve them. Oh, that is so funny. You were bad. That is really funny. Oh, it doesn't make a syrup. Uh, mm, I was being good for a while. It's so hard to be good, even if you know that it's deleterious to your health. It's hard to be good. Of course, I remember the rocket popsicles. I remember David having it, and then his mouth would be all those colors. Yeah, annoying to you, but the kids must have loved it. To this day, they play my music every time the Mr. Softy Man comes around. Da 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 da. That's funny. It's that they're playing my song. I just love that stuff. I'm just a sucker for it. You have a good night too. Take care and have a good day tomorrow. I'll take a look at the stuff later. Um, the lollipop thing that looked like a rocket. Um, I do remember something looking like a rocket, but I don't remember the rest of it. Uh, it has rainbow colors. Red, white, and blue. I remember that. Yep. For a while, I tried to be good, and I would get the Carvel low-fat pistachio soft serve. Nutty Buddy. Do I? Yeah, it just went by so fast. It really went by so fast. I loved having him. I loved raising him. I wish I had more time to spend with him, but I had to work. And yeah, but my mother was around for him a lot. He had a great relationship with her. He used to be married to a nutty buddy. Yeah, it goes way too fast. I mean, I look at it now, his kids are growing up too fast. I mean, his oldest is getting ready for college next year. It's hard to believe. I'm going to turn around one day and he'll be getting married. Definitely all goes way too fast. I love creamsicles too. I really do. I still, to this day, I buy them occasionally at the supermarket, and but they're good because it's only 100 calories and there's really not that much of the ice cream in it. So it's more of the orange. My mother was just under 82. She would have been 82 in November. She died in July. Yes, the orange and vanilla, so good. I used to like fudgicles also when I was a kid, but now I'd much rather have a creamsicle. I actually almost bought it last week when I went to the supermarket. I had my hand reached out and then I said, "Don't do it. Don't do it. I really should wait for a while and let her do my next A1C first." Although I'm being so bad now with the Lindt chocolate thing again. I had a half of one tonight. Orange Julius. Yep. Does it really? That's interesting. 50-50 bars. I don't know that one. What is that? Now, if I had my other phone, I could look it up. What's the AC? What is the A1C? What is it a measure of, or what is mine? I'm not sure what you're asking. um, Orange Julius. Yeah. You don't know that? Oh, the A1C is measurement that they use, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's how the sugar binds to the red blood cells over a period of time. So it determines what your blood sugar has been for the past 3 months. Yeah. And, so it's hard because if you're just doing a glucose test, you can cheat it, but you can't cheat an A1C because it measures for such a long period of time. So it is what it is. Or you're going to be in trouble, right? Exactly. I mean, sadly, I mean, my mother always equated sweet things with love. She loved it so that she always wanted to provide it for us. And for me, oh yeah, I mean, I have definitely been bad. For a while, I thought I'm doing much better with the Atkins stuff because the sugar is so low in it. I think I mentioned that the sugar was 3 grams of sugar, 2 or 3. I forgot which, but whatever it was really good. I wanted to buy more of them on Amazon, but I really have been so reluctant to buy anything that's on any kind of a credit card that I'm going to have to actually pay for. So I've held off, but it's in my cart um, because they have the 8 bar ones for 8.90 something, whereas in the local stores, the 5 one is $9 and change, or occasionally you can get it for just under 9. But still, they're charging you as much for 5 as you get for 8 in Amazon. So and Target also had a good price on it. So I really would love to get those to try to be better. But unfortunately, because they had the other one on sale, it was too tempting. It was right there, 2 for $5. How could you go wrong? So you might want to ask me how many I bought. You have a coat in your cart. I have several other things in my cart too that they keep dumping out of my cart as it no longer is available. Yeah, it's kind of the way that I satisfy the urge. I put it in my cart, but then I don't buy it. So, Mother's Day is in March there? Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, do you? It gives me some kind of satisfaction to do that. And I think, okay, I'll buy that. I'm just not going to buy it this minute. I'll come back later. And then I just, yeah, but it could be different because London weather is, is not superb, generally speaking. Yeah, trying to think of what else I had on my cart. I actually I had a thing. It's a Mac. Really? Wow. I have never done retin-A. Yeah. So you need that code. I started to do it. I put the first video out. It's called Trust Beauty, and I'm doing a 30-day challenge on it. And I will tell you that so far, I really like the way my skin looks. I mean, look, it really is good. You've used it for Trust Beauty, or you've used something else? Oh, hi, Paula. Glad you made it. Um, oh no, you've used the retin-A. Is that what you were saying? For years, the retin-A. Yeah, I have never used that, but I'm really extremely happy with my skincare. The product that I was the most anxious about with the Trust Beauty was the overnight repair. And as I'm into it now for it's over a week. Is it only available in the US? I don't know, but I'll check tonight and I'll let you know. If I had my other phone with me, I'd be able to let you know now, but it's hiding somewhere, so I'm not sure where it is. I'll find it when I least expect to. So, yes, it does. It has, I think, what else? It's got some really good stuff in it. It really does. Um, I think, was there also vitamin C and something? I wasn't sure that I would, like the moisturizer as much because I'm so in love with the moisturizer I already use. But it's my face is doing really well, so I cannot complain. I really cannot. So they sent me 3 products. One was the moisturizer, one was the night repair, and one is the cleanser. I like the cleanser a lot. Yeah, yeah, I think it really is looking good. The cleanser, the cleanser is much more liquidy than what I usually get for a cleanser. They, oh, oh, okay. I don't think there's going to be that much in it that it would really cause that. So far, I mean, I'm using it, as I say, it's got to be over a week at this point. And I have to take a look the day that I did the video that I actually filmed it. I'm not sure. I have to check. But yeah, I think it's a good product, and I mean, it got 5-star reviews. But I will check to see if it's available in England. I'm not sure. I'm not using my moisturizer. I said I was doing a 30-day challenge, so I'm doing it. I'm using only their skincare products right now. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it the other way because that wouldn't be fair. Uh, the only thing that I'm doing, but again, it's stuff that I normally do with my own. Oh, that sounds so good. What is it? What is what? Um, the other stuff that I'm using my Tatcha, what is it called? Something firming serum. I use that after my moisturizer and all of that. I'm still using the skincare that I'm trying is Trust Beauty. They had sent it to me to try. Yeah, Trust Beauty is what it's called. And so far, oh, here you go. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing that they can come back on after a while. Trust, yeah, it's called Trust Beauty. And it seems like a high quality. I read all the reviews before I agreed to have them send it to me, and it looked good, and people had really good things to say about it, so I thought it was worth a try. And my expectation was not great because, as I say, I was so happy with what I was doing that I would not have reached out to do something different. But I'm pleasantly surprised so far. But it's only a little over a week into it, so I have about another 3 weeks to go. I do show you my applying it in the next video that I should be putting out, which is, it's actually a get ready with me. And I think if I can recall, it was the one where I did the very dark eyes that you had asked me for at one point. So what I do with their cleanser is I put it on my Clarisonic. You're supposed to just take a little bit of it and then just put it on your face. It really doesn't foam. If it does, if you want to call it foaming, it's the very tiniest little. It's kind of like the new washing machines with the what is it called? HE, whatever the thing is called that doesn't really make suds. So that's kind of like what it's like. But I use it on my Clarisonic, and I think I'm using a tiny bit more because it's more liquidy than I expected. So, yeah, actually, that sounds really good, Mary. It's something I think I'll try as well. No what? No agitator? Is that? I'm not sure what you were saying. Not clear on it. Yeah, I used to use my Clarisonic every day. I don't use it every day anymore, but I use it probably 4 times, 5 times a week. Well, that's not fair. Since I started this challenge, I'm using it every day. I know that autocorrect is not so. It makes me crazy. Yeah, the Clarisonic is great. I do have this other product that I have to try out also that is a whole brush system, and that's a whole kit that I had gotten, so I'm going to do a review on that one as well. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and there is another product that has been sent to me that I also need to do a review on at some point. I just don't like to do a lot of them in succession because I know it's not something you necessarily want to see all the time. And yet I want to be fair to the companies that send me the product, so I really have to check it out. Yeah, let us all know if you get to try it before me, which is a real possibility. I have to tell you, I have too much food in the house now because with the stuff that they deliver, they have been bringing me extras most of the time. The guy I had today brought me exactly what I was entitled to. I've never seen him before. Tuesday seems to be, they don't, yeah, yeah, I'm staying with the skincare now. I'm going to finish with this before I do anything else, and then I'll move on to that. But I want so much. I really have to be in contact with a couple of the wig companies to see if they will send me any wigs to try, because there are several that I would like to try, and I suspect that a number of you would love to see them. So I'm going to try. I mean, all they can say is no. So we'll see how that goes, but it's worth a shot. In the meanwhile, I definitely have to get those poor things that is sitting on the thing over there washed and put away. But I've been wearing my own hair a lot lately. It's actually strange for me to be walking around in my own hair. So I think on that note, I think it's probably time for me to shut this down. We're on here for a long time tonight, and I will. Yeah, I would love to. I really would love to. There are several that I really want to try. I'm dying to try that one that Taz tried. What was that thing called? I forgot if it was that, Good Night. Yeah, it was the one with the, I forgot what you call it. The shaded, where it has the root. Thank you. Duh. Okay, on that note, good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.